So there you go. So I have my whole thing about not judging, and then the next conversation.
We're judging. I'm sorry. Like, it is
easier said than done.
Hey, how you doing, Michelle?
I am doing well.
Okay. I'm gonna have you laughing
about it. I want to laugh. Give me a laugh.
So I was literally like saying, I found this box in his head. It says like best of beauty, right? And it was like in the back of my closet. I was cleaning out, organizing. I found lip glosses.
Yes.
Old lip glosses from when I was beauty writing. And I said, oh my gosh, like, wow, this is amazing, right? Brand new, not opened, had never been used. That were like gifted to me and everything.
Yeah.
And so today I decided to wear one. I'm like, I
was going to ask you.
Right. I hope my lips don't like start tingling or something because it's like so old. But it was one of those things like you never know what you was going to find. It is this little compact of lip Iman.
Nice. Yes.
Right? Rainbow colors.
Ooh, right? Oh, I wish you had the purple on.
You know, I just started mixing and matching. And I was like, brand new. Like I literally went into this with a lip brush today. And I would encourage people to go clean out somewhere. They probably need to clean out something.
Oh my
You never know what you might find.
You never know. And I want to say for anyone, you know, I hope everyone is going to watch us on YouTube or Spotify because your lips match your shirt perfectly. Okay. So my gosh, you could have planned that better.
I couldn't have planned it. Like, so I found the box yesterday. Like I was I found the lip, and I was like, I know what I'm going to wear. And so this is, if you ever go to Provence, south of France, where all the boats, the yacht, you know, the main area, and you wander those like side streets. Yes. This is some lady. She sells only these kinds of dresses. They're 100% silk. They're like moo kind of caftan.
Oh, I've seen you wear that. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yes.
But it's like one size fits all. So if you go when like it's summer, all the dresses are €20. When it's like September.
Do you know where? Is it like in Nice or Saint-Tropez? Well, like if the big boats are coming in, maybe Nice?
It's in Saint-Tropez.
Okay.
Not far from like the Dior Cafe. I'll have to put the brand name, like it's in the tag, but like you go in and you see all these colors. And when I went, it was October. So I was leading a trip. It was still warm, but you know, it's not summer season. And like the store is like 80% off. Like it's not,
cool.
So this is like one of those dresses from a couple of years ago. So I was like, I'm gonna do something bright, something fun. Yes. And so I was like, and then I found my little
well, the lips and the dress is like totally
probably
on point.
14 years old. I'm going to give it very old because she doesn't make this anymore. That's how I know because I kind of looked it up and I was like, that's what. So my tip is go and clean it.
Yes.
Go and clean out something. You never know what you're going to find.
Well, you know what's so funny? And I promise you, I'm not making this up. I was looking through my makeup drawer today. I clean it out. I like to save things. And then I'm like, then I throw it out. Mm-hmm. But I found a box that had never been opened. It's only probably a year old, of my favorite lipstick color from MAC, which is like 305. I think it's like an orange. Mm-hmm. That's what I have on. And an unopened box of my favorite lip gloss of MAC that's called Nymphette. And so I am literally wearing like 1-year-old brand new, open. I didn't even know I had these in here. It's my favorite. They've discontinued, I think, the 305. I'm not sure. Yeah. But yeah. So we're both kind of like on
now, I will say, depends on how you are about things. I found like there are people on eBay who sell unopened, brand new products. Yeah. I know people are weird about that. I've not had a problem. Knock on everything I can knock on. But if you can find it, because what happens is, I don't know if they have there are these new companies now that are, if you have the color, they can match the color. They can make it for you.
Yes.
So I would say go to one of them, Lip Lab, I think his name, and try to find see if they can make it for you. But no, I'm just like. Yeah, like it is literally, it's MAC lip gloss, it's Clinique in there. It's like Estee Lauder. I mean, it is, it's probably like 13 lip glosses.
So cool.
And so,
oh my gosh. So you'll be sporting all kinds of colors now as we move forward.
Now I'm like,
have to keep us updated on,
You don't have to go buy them now. So that was a good find.
Win-win.
Win-win.
Win-win. Wow, that's
Yes.
awesome. Well, I have a quick rant before we move into our first topic. So as I was thinking about this last week, in the spirit of, I know we both are familiar with and love the ladies from the I've Had It podcast.
Love them. Love
Just
them.
hilarious,
Love them.
hilarious. I would love to have them on the show. They're hilarious. But so I was thinking about, in the spirit of I've had it, I have a frustration of people. So I'm walking in the gym. The gym I go to, as you know, is Lifetime Fitness. They're typically 2 stories, the big one.
Yeah.
So you come in the main floor, go to the locker room, put stuff away, and then come back out and walk upstairs. And that's where all the weight facility and stuff is. So people coming in, walking in the hallway, which is only so big, like in the middle of the hallway on the phone. So I'm trying to okay, I'm going to move to the left. Nope. They're just, and then they start weaving. Okay, so I'm going to move to the right. And then they're weaving through I'm like, get out of the way. Why is it airports, public places, just move to the side. Like if you want to be I'm not saying don't be on the phone. I'm saying pick it, like when we're driving, pretend like it's a highway and there are lanes, move to the slow side, walk along the wall. So
they're not going to.
you.
They're not going to do that. I walk down in DC. People are on their phones. I mean, my whole thing is like people have to almost grab people now so they don't get hit by a car in a bus.
Yeah,
walking and they're looking, and I'm just like, I know when I am. I just wait. I go and I stop. Actually, I don't even keep walking. I kind of move and just completely stop. But people will ram into you because.
Yeah.
Walking because they are on their phone. They're not even paying attention. So I
just can't. I've had it. I've had it with it. Again, in the spirit of the I've Had It podcast, I've had it with it. Just people, please move to the side. Let's make the right side, whichever direction, the slow side, or stop. But if you're not going to stop, just don't walk in the center of the thing when people, I have one walking speed and it's fast. My kids used to laugh when I would take them to the mall. They're like, this is not walking. When their legs were little, they would have to speed walk or jog to keep up with me. I'm like, I'm trying to get into the locker room and you're just meandering through on the
and also,
phone.
My God, and please, let's use headphones. Nobody wants to hear your conversation.
Yeah.
It's like the speakerphone was not meant to be that. It's not for all of us. Headphones were invented for a reason. Yeah. I love the rant. Great rant.
Starting the day off with a rant. So let us know, audience. What is your rant with people on their phones?
Yes.
Share with us your frustrations, or maybe you don't have a frustration. Maybe you're like, it's
they probably
fine,
do. They have a frustration.
Yeah, I feel like they do. So funny. All right. Well, so speaking of that, I have a topic today that actually kind of ties in a little bit because I suppose, Julia, perhaps when I'm walking and I'm frustrated behind these people, am I being judgmental? Do you think? I don't know. I am, but I'm not judging their character. I'm just judging them to get out of my way.
So here's the thing. Do you care?
Well, I think, I care about being judgmental. I don't care about wanting these people out of my way. But I was reading this article in the Times recently about, how to be less judgy. And so I do care about that. I don't want to be judgmental of other people. I don't want to, and in the social media world, in this world where, people have always been judgmental of celebrities, and to a certain extent, although I know they are human, they know that some of that comes with the territory. People are probably judgmental of us now because we're out a little bit, more and stuff. But that's social media. Everyone thinks because they have a profile that they have a right to say whatever they think about anyone. And I don't think that. I think that, I have, with a lot of the work I've done, one of the things that I realize is what I think about other people is about me. It's a reflection on me. It's not about them. So if I like someone's shirt or don't like their shirt, I'm telling you, I love what you look like today, but really what I'm telling you is my judgment of, it's it looks beautiful on you. You look so great with the color. That's a compliment. I like your shirt. That's not really a compliment. That's me saying what I like, kind of thing. And so people just are always attacking, and I don't like that. And so I check myself. I want to be more curious than definitive. And they had a study on, they quoted this research study that said that people who have more judgmental attitudes typically actually suffer from more depression and anxiety, and that they're not well just generally in their life. And so I think about that. I also raised my kids to say, what other people think about you is not your business. Well, because it's always about the person who's doing the judgment. It's never about the object of the judgment. So yeah, I do care. I don't want to be judgmental of people. Well, I want people to live their lives.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to make sure this is in the show links. I think everybody should read I'm Judging You, The Do Better Manual by Lovey Ajayi Jones.
Because Lovey. Yeah.
We love Lovey, right? We love Lovey.
Yes, we love Lovey.
And there is a place, I understand, like, try not to be judgmental. Like, sometimes people, will post something like, or ask me, I'm like, I could care less about a lot of things, I like my celebrities and I like them, and I don't justify why I like them. I just, it could be a dress, it could be a movie or anything like that. And I do think we all have to check our judgment, but there are some things I'm judging you on that it is fundamentally against me as a human being. I'm judging you, right? I'm judging you if you support this current regime. I'm judging you. I am not like, nah, sorry. Like, we can say not judgment, but it is affecting me and so many people that I love and I care about. No, I'm judging you based on that, right? I'm not judging you based on like you wore red sneakers with plaid. I don't care about any of those kind of things. I care about fundamentally how are you as a person, because then do I need you in my life? Do I want you in my life?
Well,
like, right?
Yeah, but I think judging someone and being friends with someone, I mean, those are different.
Well, here's what I think. People could put judgment on anything, right? They could put it on like our desire to read what we like to read, right? Our desire to like.
Sure.
So everybody has an opinion, and like you say, it. And I also think too, if it wasn't said to me, it was not said.
Yeah. Oh, I believe that too. Yeah. If it's not, it's not my business.
People with a phone, like, they would never say that to a person's face. They would never say that to a person's face. So my whole thing is like, you have this power because you can, and I'm just like, okay, like, but I do think with certain pressure or like certain celebrity status or certain status, there is more pressure on you as a person, but we're all human. We make mistakes every day. People, because sometimes one of those things, like I was talking with a friend, she's an entrepreneur, and she was saying, oh, I had emailed another entrepreneur and she was very curt. And I said, well, was she curt or was she direct? And you wanted a flowery email and she just gave you a blanket, thanks for reaching out. I'm unavailable to do this at this time. Have a great day. Like, it could be something like that. But she was really her feelings about it. And I was like, why? Right? Yeah. You didn't, was it not flowery enough to you? I call it kind of like bedside manner, right? When you go to like certain doctors, some people need a bedside manner. Some people like doctor just cut to the chase. It is that same way. And so she was judging it because I was saying, oh, I really like her. She was like, oh no, she sent me this email. And I was like, well, was it because it was one sentence and direct and to the point? She used all the words she had to use. She did not need anything else.
I appreciate that. With all the volume of emails we get, like, please.
But she really thought, like, oh, because of like entrepreneur to another entrepreneur. And I was just like, no, she knows she has limited time to respond. Yes. And she gave she didn't like just cut it off. She's like, thank you, and we're done. So I think
that seems different. I think when I think of judgment, I think of, like, generally speaking, I believe that we as individuals, I as an individual human, I do not possess the right to make another person feel bad about who they are. So I may not like their shirt, I may not like their pants, I may not, but who they are as a human being.
Yeah, but that's not. But I think honestly, people don't really see people
attack people's character in ways. I just.
But they attack people.
That's judging.
That's judging, but they're judging people based. They don't even know them.
I know, they don't even. And I just think that's wrong. be curious, ask questions. I think the best way to avoid judgment is to be curious. Just,
Yeah, but
I
curious.
wonder. I wonder if that person had a bad day. I wonder if she was in a hurry with the email and she wanted to make sure she responded. She didn't want to delay. But she was in the middle of doing a bunch of things, so she could have waited for days, and maybe your friend would have been hurt by that. So she had a choice, and give her the benefit of the doubt.
But I think people forget that everybody's going through something. Everyone
Everybody,
is going through
all the
something
time.
every
Yeah,
day, and people forget
every
that
day.
because that goes back to the world, as we know it is trying to go back so fast post
Mm-hmm.
the pandemic, trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
People are literally trying to survive, and
Mm-hmm.
so that, like you said, if you ask questions or are curious or have some form of empathy, it's easy to like say, I'm not doing that. So a lot of times, like, you
Yeah.
know, I look like I'm into pop culture about people, and then I just go, okay, you know what? I like them the way I like them. I don't like them, if I don't like them, but I don't know
Yeah.
'em- I
People
don't
are
know.
messy. We're messy. I'm messy.
Oh,
Everybody's messy. The minute I have like a value of something, then the
hmm,
next thing you know, I will do something that looks like it's completely contradictory to that, because
yes,
we're complicated.
yes,
People are complicated.
yes,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
So,
give people the benefit of the doubt. Empathy, people.
so
Empathy.
that's your topic. So mine
Yes.
is kind of funny because it might be into judging. It is. I read this article in New York Magazine
Uh-huh.
called "It's Time to Kill the Casual Workplace." And
Okay.
it's on office etiquette and, to me, etiquette in general. I
Okay.
We have lost etiquette. I,
I'm feeling some Diane. I'm sorry, Diane. I'm feeling some Denise Hamilton from
it
our
is,
conversation with her.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
I am always shocked sometimes when, people, I'm in downtown a lot, and I grew
uh-huh.
up in a different business area culture. I remember
Yeah.
an attorney I worked with said business casual eventually would turn to business tacky. And I see it, and I didn't, he said it, and I understand what he's saying. It is going, like, when I think about places, like the way maybe our parents taught us, or like sometimes, like when I'm on a plane and I am trying to understand how is okay in someone's mind to take their shoes off and put it on the
Oof.
armrest of the person in front of them. Oh,
Uh,
yes. I'm just like, when did, like, this part of you never get a second chance to make a first impression? I don't mean you have to dress
yeah,
up. I don't mean, but
yeah, yeah.
it is something about decorum, and I don't know.
Mm,
I think it's just lost a place in society, that
mm,
it is one of those things, like everything isn't for every place, every outfit,
yes,
it is, but it
yes.
is,
Keep your belly covered when you're working. Unless
yes,
you're working in a place where your belly is not so. If you're a lifeguard, of course not, or whatever. But
but it's kind of like this
not in
pushback
an office. Yeah.
of this new generation, and I'm just like, and I'm listening to friends who are in offices, and they're telling me these stories about what, how people also show up, like even for interviews, like just kind of like make sure, like, you're not in like pajamas, like on a, like you're being interviewed on a Zoom. And I was like, what? And then I went down after.
Yeah, we're not all Kara Swisher. We can't be on Zoom in our pajamas.
But not on. But here's the thing: we're talking for an interview. I'm of the meaning because
Yeah.
these people
Oh.
didn't have the job; they're trying to get the job. Like, she was
Oh
saying how,
gosh.
like, sometimes she never knows what's going to pop up on the screen. Like,
Hilarious.
and
Oh my
this was
god.
a few weeks before this article came out, and it
Yeah.
talked about, like, because of the pandemic, a lot of people postgraduate never went into an office, they never understood office culture, how
Yep.
how to, like, dress, or always make sure, like, things are ironed or anything like this. And I think about it because I travel so much, and you travel a lot, and I think about like the lack of etiquette, like when I see people, like, on planes, like, did you really roll out the bed? And I don't mean on a 6 a.m. flight.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a flight
Yeah.
like 1 p.m. And
Yeah.
just like, you're mad because somebody doesn't want your foot on their armrest, on the, like, it's just etiquette in general. So to me, I'm not trying to be Emily Post, but there are times and places for a lot of things.
Emily Post. Half of our audience is like, who?
Google. That's why you look, go to Chatty and Emily Post and etiquette and things like that.
Yeah.
And it is simple. Like I just, like I'm shocked. I've been out to dinner and I see people literally with those toothpicks at the table because they just finished eating. And they're using a flosser and
sucking. Oh God! At the table.
At the table.
There are restaurants, people, that have bathrooms. Or wait till you get home.
I'm watching this and going, who raised you? Were you raised by wolves? Now that's me, and I'm judging.
Yeah.
Because you don't do that at a dinner table. And I'm just going, like the restroom is over here. Just
that's so funny.
But they're doing it like this.
Yeah.
We still know you're doing this.
Well, at least they're aware that they're,
We still know you're doing this. You're at a dining table. That is the case. So,
That's so funny. So there you go. So I have my whole thing about not judging, and then the next conversation.
We're judging. I'm sorry. Like, it
easier said than done.
It is. But also, too, you're forgetting other people at the table. That is not.
Yeah.
That is a hygiene issue that does not need to be at a dinner table.
That's so funny. Well, and I wonder also, that's more like a behavior and not a character. Like, come on, people, if you're going to floss your teeth, that's a good thing. Do it in the bathroom.
Doesn't part of your behavior go into your character?
Not always. No, because it's not who they are. They're a person, if we're all doing the best we know how, then maybe someone one of their friends or family should just say, hey, maybe you should do that in the bathroom.
But I'm at the table. I've had it done to me at the table, and I am just in utter shock, and I just get up. And then when I come back, they're like,
so what? If we're tying our things together, so maybe you can say, so, I'm curious about, why do you choose to, floss your teeth or pick your teeth at the table instead of going to the bathroom, and just see what they say. So we're moving into curiosity and questions instead of judgment.
Well, when I asked her later, and she was like, well, I didn't think it would bother anybody. I was like, but that's a hygiene issue. That's literally a hygiene, and we're at a dinner table. We're literally not done. The check is not arrived.
Well, and have you ever noticed, okay, so this is kind of gross, but if you're flossing your teeth and you're like up at the mirror, you see the stuff that comes out. Like my husband will be flossing his teeth and then he'll walk into the bedroom to like see what's on the news. And I'm like, no, like you got shit flying out of your, no, just, So people, we don't want to judge you, but floss your teeth in the bathroom.
I'm just thinking I don't mean I don't mean into properness or anything. That is just to me a basic no at the table. They're like basic no etiquette. So when this article, I think it applies to a lot of areas, not just like in office work. It just makes it makes you really rethink in them. Yeah. Yes. And I'm like, we need to bring etiquette. We need to bring back some of it.
We do. Some of it was too much, but some of it we need to.
Oh, some of it absolutely.
There's a happy medium.
There's a happy medium.
We're not talking cotillion or whatever that was. I didn't. No, we're not. That, but
I have friends that did it. I was like, my parents were like, they offered, and I went, no.
Yeah. No.
It's a no. It's a no. But just a no. But just think about also people who are around you. Think about it's just
That's, there's a thing kind of going back to the Times article. It's mindfulness and intentionality. Like, be mindful. Be mindful.
Yeah.
Just be mindful of judging, but also be mindful of your behavior.
And also be mindful when you're with others. Like, it's like one of the, so.
We can work together on this, people.
Yes, we can. Okay, that's my hot topic.
So, but your hot topic and my hot topic bleed in beautifully to our Am I the Asshole of the Week? God, this is so I thought that this is so perfect for us, I think, to talk about. So what the latest one was, so there's a husband and a wife, and the husband likes to have people over, but apparently they don't have their house they don't keep their refrigerator stocked and their liquor cabinet stocked and all that kind of stuff to have people over. And so the husband apparently has a tendency to invite friends or family over And I get the sense maybe it's a little bit more family, but he does it, and then he doesn't tell his wife until like the day of, and he only gives her a few hours notice. Now, the wife qualifies all of this by saying his family is judgy. And not only does she think they're judgy, but he knows that his family is very judgy. So I get the sense from, again, we only know what's shared in these things, that, so when he gives her like just a few hours notice, she's got to clean the house. She's got to go do grocery shopping to buy, food for this gathering, this party. And then she's got to prepare the food. And so finally she got to the point where it was kind of like she had had enough. And so the last time he did this, she left. She's like, I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. And so he got mad and canceled the party, the gathering, the people over. But now he's sulking about it and telling her that she's like Debbie Downer, that she's no fun, that, and so she wants to know if she's the asshole.
She is not. He is.
Honey, you are hell not the asshole.
He is. First of all, is very inconsiderate. That is one thing. Yeah. It's a very inconsiderate thing to say, oh, well, in 4 hours, you need to clean the house, stock the groceries, make the groceries, and do all this stuff because I invited people. To me, if you want it, and I have a lot of rules about that. I also have a lot of rules about you show up late too many times, you invite me to dinner, and I'm sitting there, I'm not going ever again because you don't understand time. Because one thing I'm not getting back is time. On this, why can't he say 48 hours before? Also,
well, that's what she's asking for. Just give me a couple of days.
Not only that, you pay or you clean it and then you cook it, and I'm gonna sit here and do nothing because that's what you're doing. Yeah. So no.
Well, and apparently he's like inviting the people days in advance. He's just not like, yeah, that's a
if he's inviting,
no.
he should be the one at the big box store. Yeah, like, but yeah. I think she probably has had enough. That's why she stayed out. But she probably should have done this sooner. It sounds like something that has been years.
There's a boundary thing. Yeah.
There's a boundary, right? And the first I'm going to say 4 times, she let it slide. By the 5th time, she kept doing it and just like, okay, I'm going to let it go. And then now she's so fed up that I am just like, no. But he is a grown adult that could do all the same things if he wanted to. He could do every single thing he's telling her to do, and he could do it himself. And then he'll see how inconvenient it is.
Well, what about, hey, I've invited people over. So on this, maybe it's a Saturday, I'm going to spend the day cleaning the house and going to the grocery store and preparing, accoutrements of whatever food, meal, dinner, whatever. And she can be like, all right, let me know what time they're coming. I'll be back by then.
That's what I mean. And I think it's hard because this whole women role, I mean, it's just proliferating everything. A woman should do, all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want your family over, fine. That's not a problem. Like, she's not saying, hey, I don't want them. It's more of you're disrespecting her time, and you're actually, which means you're disrespecting her. And maybe he was never taught that. Sounds like she was never taught that. But you can't, I'm like, she's better than me. She's better than me.
Me too, because I said no the first time. In fact, I probably have. I mean, well, in my house, people over is a we deal. So, we cook and clean and shop and we balance it out and it gets figured out.
That's a we deal. They're not the we. It's the he deal. Yeah. And my whole thing of it is somewhere, and I'm going to say he probably knew on Monday or Tuesday, but didn't relay that until Saturday morning when she is like, maybe it was the day I just wanted to stay home and do nothing. Maybe it's the day I just want to watch TV all day or read a book or just do nothing. Maybe she wanted to be in her garden. It's a lot of things, but that is she's definitely not the asshole. He is, in my opinion. And he's not going to get the answer. He's going to stay around and sulk. And the petty person in me, very petty McGetty, is like, I can show you better than I can tell you. Keep inviting them. And 4 hours turns to 8, and then I'll just be overnight somewhere else. Because I'm just
well, I don't think that's petty. I mean, because I know you wouldn't just do that. You would have the conversation and like you would get yourself to that.
But
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
disrespecting her boundaries.
He is. He is. Come on,
That's really what it
husband.
is.
Yeah.
My whole thing
Come
is
on,
like,
husband. Respect your wife.
if you
Yeah.
don't, if you
Help
really,
her and plan ahead.
not only plan ahead, if you want to do all that, pre-order this stuff. Every grocery store now, you can pre-order everything and you can literally have it delivered. It's like you don't even have to go anywhere. You can literally have all this done. He could outsource his party. Going back to season 1, he can outsource his party, and then she'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, but to expect her to like literally, bring home the bacon, throw it up in the pan, she is not Anjali. Anjali is over, honey. Anjali is over. Girlfriend we left her back in the day.
Half our audience is like, yeah, and the other half is like, what?
Young kids Google Anjali perfume. I can bring home the bacon, frying up in the pan, let you know. Girl, no.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. So tell me, on this particular week, reading, watching, listening to, what's piqued your interest this week?
So I'm going to shout out an Instagram handle called Beach Reads and Bubbly. I'm going to keep shouting her out because she gives me books.
Again.
Beach Reads and Bubbly.
Beach reads and bubbly. Oh my gosh, that's like,
yeah.
I need to follow this person.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love her. So she always makes a spritz. She's really into wine. Her family is from Malta, like in Sicily area.
Nice.
So yeah, so she's really adorable. She lives in Chicago, and she always talks about these romance books. She has a thing called Brad, which are beach reads after dark, kind of like Smut, but she renamed Smut to have those.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So this one is called.
Reading? Do you have a Brad reading for us?
I don't have a Brad reading for you because but this is problematic summer romance, and it's by an author named Allie Hazelwood, who is new to me. So I like her because I'll find out about a book that I had never heard of. So this is the one. Oh, cool. And I am telling you, Sunday, I was like, okay, let me, she's been talking about this book. And so I was like, okay, have the book. I was like, I had to force myself to go to sleep.
Oh, yeah. I have a hard time reading at night because of that reason. I'll stay up till 3 a.m. and it doesn't work for me.
And it doesn't work for me either. So finally I was like, you know what? Maybe this is the morning kind of like read while I'm having my coffee. But that is what I'm reading, Problematic Summer Romance by a new author to me, Allie Hazelwood. And she has written a lot of other books. So part of me kind of want to go back into her catalog. I always like to see, now because of social media, I get to find these new authors that I probably wouldn't have found otherwise. Yes. That is one of the things I'm reading. But watching, is Sirens on Netflix.
Just started it last night. One episode in. I watched it with my husband, the first episode. When it was done, he turned to me and he's like, where did you hear about this show? Ooh, that Julianne Moore, can she play creepy well?
She's
not even creepy. She just plays really
here's the
eccentric characters.
Yes. I wasn't going to watch it, right? And then I was like, but it's Julianne Moore.
And I love her.
And then, because I'd heard about it, but no one saying that Kevin Bacon is in it. Like, I was like, Kevin Bacon? Oh my God, I have to watch it now. So it was more of like Julianne Moore and Kevin Bacon. And I just think he is.
Yes. Yeah. We watched his Amazon show where he's I forget what it's called, where he's like dies and then he comes back and he's like catching demons or something. It was hilarious.
Okay, I don't even know what that
Crazy
is.
Amazon.
But two great people. I'm only, I think, on episode like 3 or 4. I can't remember which episode, but it was one of those like I normally would just pass. I mean, I see it and I would pass, and then I was like, well, let me watch the Even though because I was like, I like Julianne, but it was kind of like it was when I saw the girl from White Lotus.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, I probably need to watch that. So that's on my list.
And then the other girl, the other woman, I don't remember. She was in something else. I don't remember if she was in the Game of Thrones, the second round, the House of Dragons. I never watched
Games of Thrones.
Or maybe she was in The Witcher. I think she was in I never watched Game of Thrones either. And I watched season 1 of the House of Dragons, with my husband, and I didn't like it. But I think she's in that. Yeah, she was in that.
I didn't recognize her. I didn't know who she was, but I'm very excited for that. And then because also too, I love looking at beautiful clothes. So Julianne, the clothes, the closet.
It's like Lily Pulitzer threw up all over that show.
Well, here's the funny thing. But she didn't throw up on Julianne Moore.
That's true. That's true.
I'm not watching it for Lily Pulitzer.
Against Lily Pulitzer. I'm not saying, but it's just like, doesn't it? I mean, pretty sure that pink dress that she had on, the assistant, I don't know her character names yet. That looked like Lily Pulitzer.
No, it is.
Me. I mean, they all did. It's just,
but it's funny because
it is an advertorial.
But Julianne Moore isn't. She isn't in that. No. So her clothes. Yeah. And so, then the one I want to start is my best friend's sister, my sister, like the one on Amazon Prime, like that one.
Yeah.
Because everybody talks that the clothes are phenomenal. Like I've heard, they say the show is good, but they're like, Jessica Biel's wardrobe is phenomenal. So I love to see beautiful clothes on women and look at things. Yeah. So I was just like, so.
You can tell us about that one next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it next. It'll be done. So what are you reading and what are you watching?
Well, for me, I can't read books like you. I mean, right now, I feel like I'm so busy. I'm doing a good job getting through one book a month with our book selections for the month. And so so I'm reading articles and of course television stuff. And I'll talk about a TV show next week. But this week, the thing that caught my attention was Scott Pelley's commencement address at Wake Forest University. Have you by chance watched that? Oh my gosh, it's like 23 minutes long. I really encourage people. I don't know. I think Scott Pelley is just a really good professional journalist.
Okay.
And, with all the stuff going on CBS and, kind of the friction that's happening on CBS that I've read a little bit about, and the friction that's going on with 60 Minutes and stuff with their trying to do the merger with the company. And now the CEO of CBS, the woman is, like trying to get Trump because the FCC has to approve it. There's a lot going on there. So
I want to go know all about this because I'll have to go research, and you may put some articles in the show notes because I have no idea about what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. So
I have no idea.
CBS, Paramount is trying to merge with, I want to say Time Warner.
Okay, I didn't know.
Okay. And the woman, Sharon Blunstone? No, Sharon, I don't remember her name.
Okay.
She's the CEO of Paramount. And they need the FCC to approve the merger.
Okay.
And, Donald Trump was suing 60 Minutes over 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris because, of course, it was edited like everything that's on television.
Okay.
But it wasn't edited to make her look good. It was just they didn't run an unedited, like nobody does. Nobody does. But anyway, and suing for like $20 billion or $15 billion. And so they may settle that suit. And so the executive producer of 60 Minutes has resigned because he felt like his journalistic integrity and that he was, what's happening.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'm going to deep dive after we have this conversation.
Yes. It's been a lot. And so Scott Pelley, is one of the lead journalists on 60 Minutes and a man I think of great integrity. I don't know him personally. His journalism appears to be great integrity, balanced both sides, not this way or that way. But his commencement speech talked about how we are a country under attack, how democracy is under attack, how the Constitution is under attack. He talked about Volodymyr Zelensky, and when he met him and asked him how he had the courage to do what he's doing, Zelensky said, "I look in the mirror every day and ask myself, who am I?" And so his question to America and to this graduating class is, who are you? And he conjured up, Maya Angelou's and Still I Rise. He spoke about Dr. King and his letters in a Birmingham jail, referencing that. And like, when you're under attack, who are you? And what do you stand for? And what do we as Americans stand for? What does our country stand for? What do we do? And I mean, it is like, after he was done, I was like, yeah, standing up. Let's go. I just thought it was really, really powerful and thoughtful, thought-provoking. We are not a people that stand on the shoulders of fearful people. we stand on the shoulders of brave people. Think about it. I mean,
Yes.
not only as Americans, but through different periods of history. He talked about, before the Civil War, before World War II, in the 60s, we stand up, we face fascism, we fight for democracy. And so who are we in this moment right now?
I'm definitely going to go watch it. I'm gonna go watch it.
It's really good. It's only like 23 minutes. It's not hours long, but it's really powerful. Okay. And the link will be in the show notes. So So that moved me. That's what I was taking in this week.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good.
Yeah. So, and I think, it's fun because, we don't talk about what we're going to talk about together before we do this, but judgment seems to be one of the themes. So,
well, I think it's because you take in information, I take in information, and it's just kind of like a lot of times it cross, kind of like the judging and the book, and and the articles we read. So sometimes we read the same things, and I'm just like done with it, and sometimes you're like, oh no, I'm gonna talk about it. So that's what the beauty of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope our audience will like us and follow us, subscribe to the podcast.
Subscribe
Apple
to Just Getting Better, Spotify.
Follow us on social media, YouTube. And and please be in dialogue with us. Give us your comments, your thoughts, your feedback on any of those channels. How are you facing judgment and etiquette and, the threats of fascism with democracy this week?
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, a lot to process.
Yeah, and until next time,
just keep getting better.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening to Just Getting Better with your hosts, Michelle Williams
and Julia Coney.
We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into some important topics impacting women today. To ensure you never miss an episode, click follow or subscribe.
Head over to isjustgettingbetter.com to sign up for our email list, as well as check out all the links and resources in the show notes. And be sure to follow us on social media. If you love the show, will you please help us build our community by sharing it with friends? Until next time,
keep just getting better.